Having left St Mary's Church this morning, I'm now at Tintern Abbey's cafe, enjoying a coffee and some Welsh cakes too. Yum! Welsh cakes. I was last here 47 years ago with my wife when we visited the Abbey. And yes, that church up on the hill, St Mary's, is where Karen had a spooky experience. And understandably, she decided not to come with me today. The Abbey is set in the beautiful Wye Valley in the small village of Tintern and on the Welsh side of the River Wye. Here the river separates Wales from England. So as I enter the Abbey grounds, here's a little of its extensive history. Founded by Cistercian monks in 1131, the first building was constructed in timber. Later, in 1220, it was rebuilt in stone and was more or less completed by 1287. Nearly 300 years later, in 1536, it was destroyed during the Reformation by King Henry VIII with his dissolution of the monasteries campaign. 500 years later, ever since then, without its roof and stained glass windows, work has been constantly ongoing to shore up its walls, to try and hold back the inevitable erosion. Back in the day, it must have been a beautiful and awe-inspiring sight. In fact, even now, it still is. A Gothic architectural masterpiece. Earlier, we passed through the warming house, the only place a fire was lit and kept burning throughout winter from November the 1st to Good Friday. Phew! Despite some warmth, they must have suffered throughout winter. But I bet those novices suffered more. So in the 12th century, this was home to Cistercian monks, and they used to go up to St Mary's Church, apparently. But thanks to Henry VIII, the dissolution of the monasteries, this is all that's left of it. Which actually is quite a lot, as the Abbey and its grounds cover a large area. Originally including lands that were farmed, it was some 9,000 acres in all. As it's early in the tourist season, I guess they have to crack on with this work. This place is vast. It really is. I don't know how many monks were here, but there's been quite a few. Anyway, thanks Henry VIII for completely ruining the place. You can well imagine that after the Abbey's destruction, a lot of the sandstone would have been pinched for local house building, and some of it ended up in the river too, apparently. Absolutely magnificent here. It really is. Fabulous. Well, I've probably spent about another 3/4 of an hour or so here, I think. It's 10:30 now in the morning, so I've got plenty of time ahead of me. But I want to go up, crossing over the River Wye, onto the English side, because I'm on the Welsh side at the moment. We're in Wales, and go up to the Devil's Pulpit, where apparently he preached on a rock. There's a rock there you can stand on, if you can climb up onto it, I think. Yeah, he tried to tempt the monks into his evil ways. Something like that. Shame about the drilling or the machinery going on. Yeah, I think this is the angle where I took a picture of my wife a long time ago. A lot of the myths that abound around St Mary's Church seem to be a load of tosh, really. The locals know what's really happened here, of course, and all the speculation online is just nonsense. But who knows? There are two things that still can't be explained. The way my wife felt up there in front of the church, and this strange image in Amateur Photographer magazine that I saw. The author of the picture could not explain how or what got onto his image. Not sure what it was. Might have been a monk, ghost of. Anyway, let's move on and get a few shots. The chapter house is where the abbot would announce daily news, set tasks, and for any confessions, the appropriate penance given out. Here they would have a daily reading from the Rule of St. Benedict. There are 73 chapters of rules. That would have kept them busy. The cloister, a place at the heart of the abbey for quiet contemplation and fresh air, although by the 15th century glazed windows were added to the walkways, as it must have been so cold in winter. Due to ongoing engineering works, this area is closed off for now. Not, I'd imagine, the original doors. You can imagine how this looked before the restoration began, covered in vegetation, ivy, and better still with its roof prior to the Reformation. It would have been simply magnificent. Vegetation can be seen in this photo by the great photographer Roger Fenton 170 years ago. And indeed in paintings by artists like Turner. This sculpture of Mary and baby Jesus is a replica of the original, of which only now fragments remain. Looking up at these soaring Gothic arches, I wonder how many fatalities occurred during their construction. No health and safety in those days. The kitchen. Hard to imagine now, but looks more like a drainage or bathing area. The solarium, used to store food and drinks by Benedictine monks. The poet William Wordsworth eulogised the abbey in his poem Lines Written a Few Miles Above Tintern Abbey. Well, that's been fantastic, and I think it's time to go now. Maybe I'll go and grab another coffee, who knows. Then it's off, up the hill, to the Devil's Pulpit.